Predator, killer of killers. Look, we're approaching Friday. It's about to come out and sort of the wait is over. But I've got to talk about this. There's a new Warlord Predator. I'm not sure I love the idea of that, but hey, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to cover this and do a sort of review like Acid Glow's already done or Mr. H Reviews. They've spoke about, you know, the potential plot lines, storylines, how this sort of fits into Dan Trachtenberg's world and how he's going to sort of take this franchise moving forward. Now, I'm concerned already about that. I've already said that. I'm always going to be concerned because I am someone that leans heavily towards the Predator being like the OG, the originals, a bit more of a mystery. The less we know, the better. The way it hunts in stealth, the less we see, the better. I really enjoyed the Predators and the Elders coming down afterwards, and you know, in Predator 2 that we saw that giving a trophy away as to say well done for defeating a Yautja, and I really enjoyed that, and it left you with lots and lots of questions like, wow, where does this universe go? We saw the alien skull, and then that's how, you know, Predator franchise has really sort of, I guess, grown. However, you know, the quality has really dipped, but that's fine. I'll always be a fan, and I'll always watch the content that we shoot out. Now, Killer of Killers, as I said, it's already been covered, but definitely check out Mr. H Reviews. I normally watch him for anything to do with Predator. I'm normally in line with what he says as a consensus. However, I don't find this particularly cool looking at this, and he does, so we do disagree. And I also disagree with him on his... He doesn't really give an idea on the Warlord Predator, but he sort of says it's cool, and I don't know. I don't know if he's saying that to remain positive, because positivity gets you more likes and views, etc., subscribers. But he's not really that kind of person. He normally gives his opinion, and that's why he's sort of built up. But I feel on these things, he's a little bit... He doesn't want to, like, basically poo-poo on the Predator franchise, which is cool. That's totally fine. I'm a bit different. My channel is totally different. I've got a lot of Predator content, but I say the truth and how I feel, and how I actually feel about this piece of content is really going to vary. So on Friday, it obviously comes out. It's about 3 different storylines. We've got World War II, we've got the Viking period, and then we've got the Japanese period and fighting the samurai. Okay, so we've got a very, very large Predator that reminds me of the Upgrade Predator, and I think that's terrible. Pretty shit, to be honest. And that very, very large Predator is also fighting a female Viking. And by the way, I have no problem with that, especially as it's a cartoon or an animation. This doesn't bother me or irk me in the slightest. It does in the movies, but it's different when it's a cartoon, right? Everything is there for fun. That's what we're seeing. It's here to put a Predator on the screen like we've never seen it before. So we're seeing these very large Predators with these different weapons, and that's fine. Again, I do understand that Predator's weaponry advances and it gets better the more and more trophies they get, the more hunts they do. Totally fine with that. The samurai hunting Predator is much smaller, and I guess it suits the environment. And then you have the World War II like fighter pilot Predator. Again, I've already said I don't really agree with a Predator harpooning another plane and through one of the pilots and killing them. It just doesn't really make sense. So I feel like this is going to be a gore fest, really good fun, popcorn watch. But if you're a fan of the lore, the mystique of the Predator, and you really like the way the Predator, I guess, hunts and picks its worthy prey and really sort of, I don't know, what we were introduced to. The Predator wasn't just some reckless killer killing everything and taking every trophy. He picked the trophies he wanted. And that was what was so good. So in the first one, again, without going into it, he picked Dutch, liked the team, was killing off the team to really sort of, I guess, play and toy with Dutch, but also there were some trophies along the way. Exactly the same with Predator 2. There was some madnesses going on, but, you know, like on the train scene, the subway scene, there was a lot of killing then. That was a bit reckless. But other than that, it kind of stuck to what it wanted to do. Then from Predator versus Alien all the way through, we've basically got Rambo Predators who just turn up, and if they see anyone with a weapon, they kill them. That was never the case. Otherwise, the Predator would have went straight to the guerrilla camp in the first film and wiped them all out. That just wasn't it. They're picking their prey. And let's see, is this going to stick to that? I'm not so sure. I think already I will see too many kills. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what I'm seeing. And now with this Warlord Predator, which basically is, I'm guessing, like a super predator. Again, they said it's the biggest predator of them all, so we already have a huge predator. So now we're going for a massive predator. It's like, how big is this thing? Is it going to be the size of a kaiju? And if it is, I don't want to see it, to be honest. Don't want to see that stuff creep into my Predator franchise. Obviously, it's not mine. I'm just using that word. It's not the Predator I know. I don't want to see huge predators on screen smashing other predators about or losing to humans. But what they've said is the storylines all come together. I have a feeling, and I could be totally wrong, this is my guess, that the people, the individuals that kill the free predators get taken to, I guess, Predator's prime world, and essentially, or the alpha predator comes down to kill them afterwards. So they either go into like a Colosseum type thing on the Predator homeworld and fight this alpha predator, this Warlord predator, or the Warlord turns up after they've killed the predators to say well done or something, which I don't know. I always quite enjoyed the elders doing that. I liked the idea of a predator society and obviously hierarchy, but I don't think it was ever based off just who's killed the most, the Warlord. Like, the Warlord Predator doesn't sound that advanced. I'm not being funny. Like, if the biggest, strongest person was in charge, yeah, society would be in an absolute mess. Let's be real, it would. So I don't love that idea. And if this is going to be good, or any sort of inkling into how, I guess, Dan Trachtenberg is taking the franchise. We already saw Prey, which hit and miss. To be honest, miss for me, but there were some good bits. Bit of a miss for a lot of fans, but some people love it even better than the original, which I do not. So we have that. Now we're going to have Killer of Killers, which I personally think is going to be, like I said, a good watch, popcorn flick. We're going to see a lot of cool things, and we're going to like clap and have a smile on our face and enjoy it for the most part. But I think there's going to be 30% of the OG Predator fans that are going to hate it. I see a lot of, there's going to be 50, 60-year-olds, even younger, of course, and older, that are going to be like, this is Gumph, cartoon Predator, what are we doing here? And look, I'm not going to say anything about that. I kind of agree. Cartoons, like I said, I watched Terminator Zero, but I'm not a huge cartoon animation fan or anything like that. So when it comes to these particular topics, I've watched other things like Dragon Ball Z, that kind of thing, that different anime stuff, of course, but not when it comes to things that have been predominantly live action and been brilliant, yeah? But if Dan Trachtenberg wants to take this franchise down this route, we already know they're fighting kaijus, we already know that he's ruining the look and feel of the Predator, he's really changing it up, in my opinion. Hated the look of the one on Prey, and I hate the rest. So that's just how I feel. Let me know in the comments. Please drop a like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and yeah, let me know what you think. In a bit.